We got a video here from XENO. Wuthering Waves 2.0 ruined Genshin Impact for me. And I think that's a title that a lot of people can relate to. I wanted to react to this and see his opinion. What exactly has ruined the experience from Genshin by playing Wuthering Waves? I would say it's probably a lot of the quality of life, it's a lot of the gameplay mechanics. WUWA has definitely put a lot of effort in just making the experience just fun. Let's watch this.
I love Genshin Impact, or at least I should probably say I used to love Genshin Impact.
I think that's one sentence that a lot of people can relate to, by the way. That's also my stance, to be honest. I thought Genshin is a great freaking game in the beginning.
This video isn't going to be some dramatic rage bait video where I tear apart Genshin Impact and Hoyoverse, or I endlessly praise Kuro Games as the savior of the gacha world.
Hear me out, okay? Maybe some people would say I'm a rage baiter then. I just say the truth. And if the majority agrees with the truth from this rage bait, is it still rage bait? I think it's just a realistic take or opinion that just is maybe hurtful for some people who cannot accept the truth.
Not quite. I'm just a guy sharing my honest opinion as a long-term player and spender who thinks that Wuthering Waves 2.0 and the devs behind it have just completely changed my perspective on Genshin Impact. So let me explain.
Yep.
Over the past 3 to 4 weeks of playing Wuthering Waves from a new player's perspective, I've just come to realize I don't think I can go back to how the way things were before. And honestly, that's probably a good thing. First things first though, welcome back to the channel. My name is XENO, and today we're going to be talking about how Wuthering Waves has shifted my perspective on quality and why it's time we start expecting more from these Hoyoverse games. Let me say this up front, I feel like I don't need to say this, but I have to anyway. If you're enjoying...
I think we always expected more from Hoyoverse. It's not like we expect more now. But I do think that WUWA has exposed a lot of the issues that you couldn't see. A lot of these issues were visible for people that cared about it, but now even people that didn't care about these small little things that make the game ultimately more fun just have been exposed more. But I do think a lot of people were already talking about the things years ago. It's just more apparent now.
Playing Genshin Impact, that is awesome. I'm not here to take that away from you. If you love the story, the characters, the lore, the new regions, I'm super happy for you. I hope you keep winning your 50-50s and having a blast. Like, this video isn't about tearing Genshin down, although it probably should be. It's just about my
Just do it, dude. Nobody cares. If they deserve it, I don't think there's anything bad about not being too fair. The game is not fair to the players. Why should you be? It's a freaking gacha game. It's scamming players. It's scamming human beings out of their money. Be freaking unfair too.
Perspective as someone who's played a lot of these games for many years. Side note, this is the first video on the channel, so it's not going to be super polished, it's not going to be well edited, and the footage won't be the best because Wuthering Waves runs really poorly on my PC, so recording gameplay slows it down even more. I'm actually hoping to play it on my PS5 soon, but for now, I gotta wait until Kuro Games' damn customer support gets back to me, so just please bear with me. This is purely just a casual chat. So some quick background for perspective. I've played Genshin Impact for over 1,300 hours at this point, and nearly all of that, well, I've got over 1,270 hours just on my PS5 alone.
Wow.
I've logged in every single day for 902 days straight. Help.
900 days. Wow. We got a real Genshin enjoyer here.
Me. Since I came back to the game a few years ago, I've got 825 achievements. I don't really achievement hunt though. 66 characters, many of them with top 3 to top 10% builds. I min-max and I really try and get into the meta and making my characters the best that they can be. I complete the Spiral Abyss and most of the theater challenges every month. I don't really do the theater as much because I really don't like it and think it's poorly designed, but that's another topic for a different day.
It used to be even worse. The theater in the beginning was horrible. It is a bit better now, but it's still not good. It's still not fun. Like, I still don't enjoy it, man. Like, I think they tried to make the theater like a roguelike kind of fun game, but it really doesn't feel that way. They should make it more crazy. It's still more close to like a gear checkup or more like a character checkup than it actually is like a fun mode. I don't want to give them recommendations because they don't even listen to my feedback anyways. Like, why am I even saying anything about the mode? They will not change it. The sad truth is they will never change it, man. Why am I even giving ideas here? Let's move on.
I've spent money on the game, absolutely. Recently, I actually just bought all the top-up packs to make sure that I got Citlali's and Mavuika's weapons because I was losing 50-50s. Before that, though, I hadn't actually spent any money prior in all my years of playing just to summon for any character. I spent 13 months ago when Navia dropped. I spent on her weapon because Navia is my favorite Genshin character.
She's hot.
Bought merch. I've got figures of Ayaka and Ganyu. I've got the Hu Tao and the Eula figures pre-order. They're coming later in the year.
Damn.
I've got a little Hu Tao bobblehead thing. I've got a little Hu Tao lamp, like the little ghost lamp where you hit its head and it's a little lamp. It's adorable.
Genshin has great merch.
I love it.
They do have good merch.
I used to buy the Battle Pass monthly for years, but I actually stopped about mid last year because I wasn't really happy with my time and where the game was heading, and I was kind of getting very bored. I also just didn't need the resources anymore because I've been playing for so
I guess
long.
He didn't like Fontaine then. Is that it? Because I actually thought Fontaine was freaking great.
My Welkin Moon has just run out for the very first time in 900 days. And for the first time, I did not immediately renew it and give them my $5.
Okay, maybe he's talking about Natlan. Because last year was Natlan. Okay, never mind.
I'm debating whether to actually bother, and that's definitely a change that I noticed, and another reason why I wanted to make this video and get back into gacha content and gaming. So I have loved Genshin Impact, right? I've invested monetarily, I've invested with my time, I invested with my emotions, everything. I am in, okay? But after,
I wonder how many brain cells are lost by just falling down a mountain, or items falling down a mountain, or me just falling from a mountain because my stamina ran out. I wonder how many brain cells I've lost.
Natlan, I'm feeling pretty goddamn disillusioned. Like, the traversal system tied to the new characters feels very restrictive because they're designed for specific regions and they don't translate well to other areas. The Archon's gameplay and design didn't quite click for me. Okay, Mavuika herself, she is really hot. Okay, she's beautiful. But the whole black latex sexy bike rider ghost rider thing, that's weird. For some reason, I just don't like this. It's immersion breaking to me. Okay, and a lot of the characters are now...
There's a reason why Citlali has more likes on her drip marketing than Mavuika. Because there's such a huge, I don't know, disappointment about her design. It's not like she doesn't look good. She doesn't look immersive. The Pyro Archon should have looked like one of these fan arts we've seen. There's so many good fan arts out there that literally have better character design than Hoyoverse with the Pyro Archon. She could have looked like freaking a God of War character. Like, come on. It's so freaking such a missed out opportunity on delivering something that the game was missing. A freaking cool, badass waifu, goddess, queen of war, bro. But no, they turned her into a biker gang, motorbike lady.
And a little bit immersion breaking for me. Just the world of Natlan in general, which was like hyped up as this war-torn, intense world, like the Archon of War, turned out to be a colorful land of goddamn Pokemon. And bright colors. Sure, the story does emphasize actual themes of death and loss, and don't get me wrong, it gives you a lot more lore into the heavenly principles and stuff like that. That part's really cool.
It's cool, but it also is very Disney. It's very Disney because people cannot really die. They get resurrected during the war. It's like, what is going on, bro? Just let people die, man.
It's up in this weirdly positive competition
freaking battle royal
at the start, which just kind of felt childish, which they also get children to participate and go kill themselves, but, you know, whatever. I get that Genshin skewers towards a younger demographic, but it's still a gambling game. I think most people that play this are adults who can handle darker and more mature storytelling. Don't even get me started on the finale of the Archon quest. Somehow it all came down to the power of friendship and the traveler showing up at just the right time to save the...
Oh god, thank god I didn't play it. Oh, that sounds so horrible. No. Oh god, we're gonna play it one day though. We have to. We have to see that. The freaking nation of war getting saved by the power of friendship, man. In freaking Disney world with dinosaurs. Cute dinosaurs.
No. Really? Like, after 5 years in the Nation of War, I kind of expected better writing and plot development. A lot of Genshin's lore itself is actually incredible. I love it. But it's buried under mountains of dialogue and holy crap, Paimon's increasingly insufferable commentary. I want to strangle her. She doesn't just speak for you. It feels like
It's like so sad too, because I do think that the Genshin idea, the world with these gods that have powers, everyone has like their own element, and it's so freaking such a cool idea. But it's packaged in a way, and the package is so good. When you open it, it's so full of freaking over yapping, man. It's so sad. The delivery is just not good, but the idea is so cool. It's so sad.
she's speaking at you half the time and just repeating everything. There's no skip button, no meaningful player choices. It is frustrating and it's an outdated game design.
Yep.
So, enter Kuro Games and Wuthering Waves 2.0. When Wuthering Waves first launched, I gave it a shot, but I bounced off within the first week. I did not have the time to juggle another open world game alongside Genshin, Star Rail, and the anticipation of Zenless Zone Zero.
Fair.
As it turns out, I'm now playing all
It's
four.
actually a lot of people have stopped playing Wuthering Waves at launch in the first week. And it's crazy how many of these people who quit in the first week are now back. Because they were kind of ready to play another open world game. They just were not sure if this game actually is worth the effort, right? Or like the freaking, what is it called? The open world fatigue. But then I guess a lot of people got convinced by that these developers actually don't want you to feel that you're wasting time in a game like other open world games do. In this open world experience, you can actually just have fun. You explore. The exploring itself is fun. The traversing itself is fun. You don't need necessarily any character to have fun. And I think a lot of people have been convinced with 2.0. So this guy probably too.
Of them. I need help. Please, this is a cry for help. Back then, I thought
it's like because Genshin has ruined these traversal mechanic, making them so frustrating. A lot of people think that now every game they play is like that. Literally, Genshin has ruined players' perception about open world games because these developers just don't know how to make a fun open world map or fun open world traveling. And yeah, Genshin has ruined gaming. In some sense. In some sense, yes.
combat was decent, but of course you only had a few characters to play with, and the story and the voice acting absolutely did not grab me. The world felt dull, it's a muted color palette, I didn't feel invested. I came back later on actually during
Fair.
Chang-Li's banner, because let's be honest, she's stupidly stunning gorgeous.
Yep.
And I somehow won my first 50-50 with the currency that I had left over from when I quit. And I also pulled Verena from the standard banner. And
It's like if you play Genshin, you definitely have like your eyes are so used to having these huge contrast visuals. And then coming to WUWA, it definitely seems more what is it? Less contrast, less saturation colors. But yeah, 2.0 is definitely a bit different. But I can see what he means with that it looks a bit bland. Because if you're a Genshin player, your perception of games is very much like Fortnite. Everything has to be so bright, everything has to be so flashy, ADHD. Genshin is a freaking, yeah, from the visualization, it's very saturated.
suddenly I'm like, wow, the game clicked for me. But then it didn't, I dropped it 2 days later. Because again, I just wasn't that particularly interested in another open world gacha. However, my friends, fast forward to 2.0. I could not escape the hype. The trailers that I was seeing, the tweets, YouTube videos, reactions, everything all over social media. And then I saw it. It was the flying, the traversal. Now,
The flying. It's probably the biggest freaking marketing thing they can do. Like, I made an ad for WUWA, and maybe you guys have seen it or something, but I hope so at least, maybe one day. But my advertisement for WUWA 2.0, I wrote the script. The first line that I'm saying in my ad is literally, "Do you enjoy flying in open world games?" That's the first line. And I put like the flying gameplay there. I hope it's working for the devs. I put a lot of effort into the ad, but I think the flying itself is such a big motivation to play the game. It is 100% one of the biggest freaking features right now, one of the best features right now.
the traversal was always better than Genshin Impact. It has been since 1.x of WUWA, okay? I feel like that's very hard to defend, that it's not better than Genshin's. Doesn't mean Genshin's is awful or bad, but WUWA's is just like another step above. but the flying. Oh my god, the flying.
Yep.
And then the vibrant animations, the stunning vistas, the detailed water physics. It just gave me the same thrill when I first saw Fontaine and Genshin for the first time. Because Fontaine was my favorite Genshin expansion or region or whatever it is. And let's be honest,
Fontaine.
Reno Cedar is just Fontaine Pro Max. Pro Max.
It's gonna piss off so many people that he said that, but yeah, okay, bro. There's water. A lot of water equals Fontaine. Okay, we get it, dude. Is he American? Yes, Europe exists, man. Okay, there's differences in architecture, man. But okay, I don't want to nitpick here, okay? It is what it is. I guess this is the overall perception of Genshin players. They see a lot of water, they see an open world anime game, and the first thing they say is Fontaine. I get it.
Pro Max, because it's just unbelievably that much better than what the hell Fontaine was. And I love Fontaine. Couple that with the dev's responsiveness to also just stood out to
Like,
me.
look at this gameplay alone that he's using here for the B-roll. Bro is literally just having fun. I'm on mute here. Look at this. Bro is literally just having a fun time using the flight tool, man. Okay, a bit struggling here, skill issue, but still.
Life implemented features and changes.
That looks fun.
There was so many quality of life implemented features and changes. They created a game that feels player friendly. It was a perfect storm for me personally. I had 2 weeks off Christmas for work. Genshin had just left a bit of a bad taste in my mouth after Natlan, and I was already bored prior to Natlan arriving. Wuthering Waves was giving me everything I wanted at just the right time. Fast forward.
You come like from Natlan where everything feels so clunky and slow, and you need dinosaurs, and you need to find for them. In WUWA, every freaking corner you have like these cat paws, then you have like these teddy bear plunges where you can jump very high. You have the flight tool, which you can literally just use every freaking second if you want to, and it also has a huge stamina bar, right? You can fly for literally a minute straight if you max it out, I think, which is insane, and it's all free. All free.
3 to 4 weeks, right? To today. I am level 50. I've finished the 2.0 story. I've built a team of Changli, Carlotta, and Verena. The story is quite good. It's a little cliche, but it's digestible. It's easy to understand. It's got cool set pieces. It's got interesting characters. Phoebe's cool. Zani, oh my god, I don't even need to say anymore. Everyone loves Zani.
True.
Brand, Rashia, they're all cool characters. I love it. The music is just god tier. What the fuck? Like, the music in this game is insane quality.
Yep.
But the biggest...
Honestly, it's so hard to put everything into one video, but this guy's been doing a good job. I think because there's so many aspects of WUWA 2.0 that are so freaking fantastic, it's so hard to highlight them all out. I wonder if he's also going to mention like the open world events, the random ones, the low-rely flying and stuff, because all of these things should be mentioned.
Difference between Wuthering Waves 2.0 and my previous experience with Genshin the last year. I feel free. And
in my newest video that I uploaded today, by the way, I said one line where I think I just cooked. I think WUWA and so many other gacha games are now monetizing frustrated Genshin players. So if you know what Genshin players are frustrated about, and you put these things that are the opposite into your new gacha game, you can make so much money. Just monetize Genshin frustrated players. Easy freaking game. Easy money. That's pretty much what Wuthering Waves did. They monetize frustrated Genshin players. And that's perfect. Just do everything what Genshin is doing wrong and do them right. Instant success.
That in both the like metaphorically and physical sense.
I mean, also Genshin. Wait, how did it go? Genshin is walking, so Wuthering Waves can run, right? And so many other games will follow.
The commercial system is so many leagues ahead of Genshin's, and that was what Genshin was supposed to be known for: is the massive open world exploration gacha game. And I don't like exploring in that game anymore. I already didn't.
Genshin got power crept by just simply more fun mechanics and not locking quality of life behind paywall. They literally got power crept. And if somebody says exactly this, WUWA has ruined Genshin for me, it's exactly these things. The developers just don't want you to feel like you're wasting your time. Everything feels like they actually want you to just have fun.
But Wuthering Waves is just completely ruined, and I can't go back. The open world feels more alive. The map feels more achievable. I can track everything that I want on the map and actually get it to 100% without endlessly wandering around and relying on crappy compasses or third-party websites or interactive maps on my phone or something. Meanwhile, Genshin has other issues that just still drive me crazy that Kuro Games have just solved.
And here it is. Here it is, the list of issues that the Genshin devs have just not been working on since 4 years.
Limited weekly boss fights. Why can I only fight a boss once a week? I'm still leveling up Mavuika's talents. Fucking 5-6 weeks after a battle.
1 time a week. In WUWA, you at least can do it 3 times. You can kill a boss 3 times. The same one. In Genshin, maybe some people have forgotten. You can only kill 1 weekly boss. As a one specific weekly boss once. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Stamina's gone or something. It's ridiculous. A stamina system that stifles exploration. I hate it. The fact that I can only run for like 10 seconds and I have to stand still. What? Why?
Number 2. Biggest reason I've been complaining about since probably 2 or 3 years. Stamina bar outfight is getting consumed. Why?
We're 4 or 5 years into this. It was fine for a couple of years. Okay, but we've moved on as a community. The artifact farming is an exercise in frustration. Why do we not have artifact loadouts? Kuro's about to get it.
It's one of the features we asked, by the way, for in Genshin since I think at launch, the first survey or the second survey we did. I remember that putting into my survey in 1.2 or something that we need artifact loadouts. It's been now 4 years. Still no loadouts. WUWA is not even a year old. And it's already been they literally announced it already as a work in progress. Loadouts are coming. If not, maybe in the next update. Who knows?
In a year into the game. Fuck's sake. Why are map completion stuck at 99% with no clue what I'm missing? Going back to my point a second ago I made.
Oof.
After all this time, I still don't know. There's a couple of places in Liyue there's one place in Mondstadt where they're stuck at like 95, 99, 99, 98. I don't know what I'm missing and I might never find out. It's just, there's no way, there's nothing to help the player. It's so annoying. Ugh. Kuro Games have just shown me what's possible with Wuthering Waves 2.0. The game feels like a video game first and a gacha game second. And I took
beautifully said, by the way. I also want to talk a bit what he said here with, since it's a gacha game, right? And a lot of people still think gacha games are scams and blah, blah, blah. It is true. It's literally a freaking, what is it? Not power creep. Pay to win. It's literally pay to win. And it also is scamming so many. I mean, the amount of money you can spend in these games is freaking ridiculous. We have completely lost touch of what real money is the worth of. We lost the value of money completely. I just think that's ridiculous. What gacha games are doing money-wise is freaking insane. And yeah, that's a different topic for another video. But what I want to say is spending money in a gacha game can mean 2 different things or multiple things. First of all, if you like the developers and you think they use the money wisely to make the game better, it doesn't feel as bad. If you invest money in a gacha game and you know this money is going to get used for the game to make it even better, I think that's a different pair of shoes. If you spend money in Genshin, you will not feel like this money is going to be used wisely. That's a huge freaking difference. It's huge. Like, if I spend money in WUWA, I feel like, okay, they have been improving the game every update. That's invested money, dude, for my own fun. I will have more fun in the future because I spend money right now. In Genshin, it's freaking not the... Dude, we have like a gamble with Genshin if the game even is gonna get worse with the next update. It's insane.
That from somebody else's video I've recently watched. I forgot who it was. The devs communicate, they care, and they've created something that's not just a cash grab, but it's actually player friendly. And it just feels like they actually give a damn. Hoyoverse has never cared about us except for the Zenless Zone Zero team. Those guys, I'll glaze them in.
Well, to be fair, Star Rail, I think Star Rail also has some good developers that also cared about the gameplay experience, but probably not the story. The story writers or the story guys who are responsible for making the story in Star Rail, I don't know what went wrong. Because 1.2 Star Rail was still pretty freaking good pace and good portions of story. I don't know what went wrong there. But I think though, just endgame content-wise and gameplay-wise, I don't think that Star Rail is that bad. I think these developers from Star Rail are also pretty freaking good. Also, Star Rail and Zenless gives pretty generous rewards. Star Rail got Doctor Ratio in 1.5. Zenless got whatever his name is, but there's also a 5-star for free in Zenless, a limited one. So these games are actually pretty trying to make the players happy, pretty much.
Every day, okay? Those guys are the fucking goats. But Genshin's... I don't know how long I'll stick with Wuthering Waves, but for now, it's got my 100% undivided attention. I am in. I want to min-max my characters. I want to 100% the map. I want to do everything. I want the new characters. I want to see where the story goes. I am interested. I am invested. I am intrigued. But forget.
Yeah, I also think that 2.0 is such a good cliffhanger, by the way, with this little elf girl they put there. That's a good freaking cliffhanger to find more about her, to find out more about her. It's so interesting. Also, I'm hooked. I'm not really a story guy. I really care more about the gameplay experience and open world and traveling, but I'm actually invested a bit in the story, which is good.
Genshin? I just waited for the Nation of War for 4 years to land a freaking Pokemon and the power of friendship.
The Nation of Dragons, the Nation of War, by the way. It could have been so cool, but no, it's just cute. It ended up a cute update.
There was some cool lore in there and some cool characters. I don't hate that, but it just wasn't what I expected after that many billions of dollars from the company and the community. And
they made 10 billion, by the way. I just don't get it. This money is not going back into the game. It's going into different games. The money is going into the 5 or 10 new games they're making right now, instead of making the experience better or showing some gratitude for these long-time players. Why are they not showing gratitude, dude? I just don't understand it. I don't understand.
Anyway, that's my take. If you've stuck around this long, thanks for listening to just a random guy's very average opinion. I'm planning to cover the gacha games, the various 4 gacha games in just various capacities here and there. I'm going to be a very, very average content creator for gacha games. I don't want to nail myself down to anything specific, but I don't know, man. Just let me know how you're feeling about the direction of Genshin or Wuthering Waves. I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, I'll just leave it there. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest, but Kuro is just completely...
A lot of people feel that way. And that's also why your video got so many freaking views and so many likes. That's insane. For somebody who barely has subs, that's insane. It's almost a 10% ratio, like ratio. That's insane for a new creator that doesn't have a community. Also 40,000 views. This is an opinion that a lot of people have, but they don't find the right words to express it. But this video actually did a fantastic job.
Changed my mind on how to engage in an open world gacha game and actually make it fun.
Really?
And it just goes to show that I knew Genshin was... I've been harping on about how bad Genshin's been for the last year or so to like some friends in Discord and stuff, which I know have been quite insufferable. But after seeing something like WUWA, it's like, how do you go back? How do you possibly go back to it and think that this is okay? This is fun. This is what we want.
I mean, it's pretty much like Overwatch to Marvel Rivals, I would say. You don't go back. Especially not with these developers that are so stubborn to making changes or innovations. You don't go back. You just played a better game. In the end, we are gamers. We just want to have a good game to play. You want to have fun. That's all that matters. If there's a better game than WUWA, well, guess what? We're going to move on to the next one. I'm outie. Let's see if there's ever going to be a game like that, because it's going to be hard to compete with WUWA. You know, I always said this. Genshin is actually pretty easy to power creep as a gacha game, because these developers are making so many weird decisions or frustrating choices for players that the game just doesn't feel good to play. And as a game developer, you should just make a better experience. And that's what WUWA did. They delivered.
Ah, man. Anyway, I hope anyway, I'll leave the video there. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a fan-freaking-tastic rest of the day. And as always, my name is XENO. And you guys take care now.
But dude, that's a freaking fantastic video, by the way. XENO, good freaking job, man. You actually expressed everything pretty freaking good. And I agree with pretty much everything you said. So everybody subscribe to this guy. And a lot of people agree. A lot of people agree. Yeah, let's read some of the comments. This game is truly the Genshin killer for a lot of people. Which is kind of funny, because we used to joke about this. We used to joke about WUWA is gonna kill Genshin. And it actually ended up happening in some extent. And it actually ended up happening in some extent. Your opinion and frustrations are completely understandable, and I feel the same way. I used to enjoy Genshin a lot, even spend money on it, but lately the game hasn't felt as engaging. The recent characters don't resonate with me as much as those from Fontaine. I 100% agree. Fontaine felt so immersive. Everything felt like it fits in. Aesthetically, the characters just live there. I believe that these characters live in this nation. I look at Natlan, and there's a motorbike lady living in a village that doesn't have technology at all. Like, what is going on? Kinich has a holographic freaking dinosaur that he talks to. Is this schizo? I've been playing Wuthering Waves since day one, and I find it more rewarding to invest in, even though I've spent significantly more time and money in Genshin, same by the way. Wuthering Waves, I feel like I get to play more, whereas in Genshin, most of my time is spent in leveling characters and farming mediocre artifacts. Actually, I think most of the time spending Genshin is sitting in dialogues that you cannot skip. But yeah, pretty much right. Generally sucks how I started all the way back in 2020, when the game just came out. It was just poor magic, a game changer indeed. Just for it to now leave a bitter taste in my mouth, full of what could have been. That is it, yeah. One of the biggest letdowns in gaming. Genshin could have been so much more. My biggest issue with Genshin is that they create a problem to solve it and make it look like generosity. It's just so sad that people actually have to point this out in a comment, right? Because they notice these things. I played Genshin Impact for 2 years, even years before WUWA launch. Now with Kuro Games, I feel exactly what I was expecting from Genshin Impact in 2020. I think for a lot of people, WUWA is the game that they wish Genshin would be. This is for me, for example. Like, WUWA is the game that I wish Genshin would be. I recently made a comment criticism on some Genshin Impact community page. And the community there is just so toxic that they don't even want to talk about how to improve the game. Yeah, I can see this happen a lot. But it's also like, if you love something, if you're really obsessed with Genshin, it's hard to accept the hard truth. There's still so many Genshin players that cannot talk about the bad things about the game. That should not be a case in a live service game that makes so much money. They should actually deliver a better experience for players. These players are playing your game. These players are giving you the money they earn from working real-life jobs. And it's a ridiculous amount of money that you never run out of freaking stuffs to sell. You're selling virtual waifus and dudes. You don't run out of them. You're getting free money. You can print money with a character. So at least one thing you can do is give back to the players with a better experience. That made me realize that it's not worth it anymore, since the company itself is just there for the money. Yep. You don't understand Natlan. War creates unique piece of tech and engineering. Yeah, I don't think that people care about that. If the game cannot deliver an experience that actually delivers that, and you have to like read some freaking sentence in a lore that's hidden in a piece of paper, the game has just done a bad job in delivering that. We see a freaking people with no technology, that's what the game delivers on. If we see a motorbike, people hate it. It breaks the immersion. Even if there's an explanation for that, it doesn't make sense if the delivery is bad. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was a banger video. Here again, chat. Subscribe to this guy. XENO.